Everybody, welcome back to another fun and exciting episode of Kicking It with Kendall. Hey, today we're going to do a little yard cleanup. You can see I've got the Mini X here behind me, and we are going to clean up this area. You can see how all in here we've got all these weeds and everything all growing out in here, and wild sunflowers and just stuff. I've got this rock pile right here that I need to move, get it out of here, and just get this cleaned up. We got a lot of mess right here. I've already moved the little Airstream that was here. You can see it right there. I've moved it up there. I moved it with the skid steer. We got a little ball, 2-inch ball on the front of it there, and I moved it over there. So, because it was sitting here, but it is now out of the way, and we are ready to start cleaning up. So, thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and let's get to it. Another thing I forgot to mention is right here, I've got this big pile of gravel, and it's just from the ground right here. Every time I drive over this ground, it just produces more rocks and more rocks. But anyway, I've got this big pile of river rock, I guess is what you would call it, all right here. We're going to take that, and I'm going to spread it out after I move all these weeds and get it pretty nice. Again, we got more sunflowers and things all out here. So as I get this cleaned up, I'm going to spread those out here in this area and just make this a nice place to be able to park that little Airstream right here that my son's working on. So, alrighty, now let's get to it. First thing we'll do here is remove all these rocks. It's hard to level an area if you've got rocks in the way. So we'll get these moved out of the way. I'm basically just going to put them behind me up in that place where the river rock all is that I just showed you. But anyway, so I am going to go off screen just a little bit as I go up here, but it won't be for long. We'll set it up here and come right back and get the rest of those rocks. Now I've got this big concrete block here that is hooked to a pole that we pulled out a long time ago, and it's just been kicking around and getting moved around. I don't know why we don't get rid of it. I think this is going to be it. So let me grab it here and we'll move it somewhere that we can get rid of it. See that? It's got to go. Okay, we have finally finished. And when I say we, I mean me and you, I guess. But finally got this spread out, that big pile of gravel, it's all spread out. Let me show you. So as you can see, got it all spread out. I mean, it's not perfectly level. It doesn't need to be. This isn't a place that we drive. I'm gonna bring that little Airstream up there. I'm gonna bring it down here and just park it here again. I would have liked to have got it closer to this wall, but to kind of keep the weeds down, but that'll probably be just by a wheelbarrow or something like that. Anyway, so I've got it all in here, and I've been driving over it trying to lock the rocks together, but since they're river rock, they don't lock very well. They just slide around, but it'll be all right. As they drive over it, it'll smash down and turn out pretty good. But you can look here, that is not too bad. Most of the weeds are all gone, cleared up pretty good. All right, so now the next thing I need to do is I do need to bring this Airstream back and park it back down here. And the way we're going to do that is right over here. I've got an attachment right here that goes on the skid steer, and I'll show you how that works. But I need to disconnect this bucket, so let's do that. Now, the way this works is inside of here I've got a lock and unlock, so I can hit the unlock here, and you can probably see this, that ram is moving and just taking the pins out that go down in the bucket so that I can release it. So that's done. Make sure the dog is not under there. Then it's just that easy. So it's unhooked. So now I'll grab the ball over there. We'll hook it on here. I'll show you how that works. And based on where I want to be, I'm going to put it on this side. You can see, right, it needs to be right centered with this. Right in there is where the pin comes out, and I need it to be flat. So, and then there's a hole in the bottom down there that the pin drops down into, but it's got to be directly below it. So I got to slide it over just a little bit, about right there. You can see it's not against right here, so I need to come up with it just a little bit. There it is, right against. Okay, so now inside the cab, I have to put the arms down. Right here you can see it's the bucket, and it has a lock, and if I open that up, it has a lock and unlock. I have to activate it here. Okay, so if I hit lock, now I'll push this down. You can see what that's doing out there. And now it's locked in. So now we can grab the Airstream. That's a little easier than backing your truck up to it. I do want to lock it on here though, so that it doesn't come off. Okay, that is locked on. Now we'll put it back down there on the gravel that we just put at the bottom of the hill there. You can see it's pretty easy to maneuver this trailer, but you gotta have a little space. Need to back up here a little bit more to be able to back it down there where I want it. you really do have quite a bit of control when you do it with the skid steer like this. Trouble is I can't see where I'm going. And I'd hate to back it off the hill. I think we got it here. Yeah, we got it. Perfect. Nice thing about it is I can do it almost on a 90-degree angle. And being able to have it on a 90-degree angle makes it so I can really maneuver it well into here. But I think I'll leave it like this. I'll have to jump out and see exactly where I'm at. I won't have enough room to get around on each side, but probably right around there. So let me jump out and take a look where we're at. Looks good there. Looks good here. We can get through over here. So I think this is going to work out really nice. I do need to put had this cinder block over here. I'll stick it back under it. Of course, I've built the ground up a little higher, so maybe that's to be expected that's below. We'll leave that like that. Over here, I've got the wheel chocks. These are handy. These are Harbor Freight wheel chocks. If you don't have any like that, pick you up some. They're not very expensive and they work well. I'll just wheel chock that side. That should work good. I've got some jacks in the back because as he's working on this and he goes to the back of the trailer, it'll want to tip. So we've got some jacks back there. We'll set this down. I'll unhook the tongue. Then I can just let this down. And just like that, it's done. Okay, now I just need to, that's a finger getter. It'll get your fingers. So we'll jack that up a little bit. It looks like I'm gonna need to, you probably can't see this back here, but I'll gotta jack that up quite a bit actually. Maybe I'll lift it with the tractor and do this lifting stuff a little bit easier. Use what you have is what I've always been told. So That's probably as high as we want to go. But now, that goes down really easy. There we go. In the back here, you can get these jacks up a little higher. Now, I only need to jack it up just a little bit. See, I just hit my fingers on that. Again. That's the worst. Okay, perfect. I'll go back and forth a few times here to turn so it doesn't tear up the ground so much. All right, everybody, that is it for this episode of Kicking It with Kendall. Appreciate you joining. Please be sure and like and subscribe. And again, today we leveled this out. We brought some gravel from a big gravel pile that I have up there. I've been gathering around the yard. It seemed to work out really well. Hopefully it keeps the weeds down so we don't have that big weed problem like we get every year right here. Maybe this gravel being a little bit thicker will keep it down just a little bit. Anyway, thank you so much. Please, again, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next episode.